I don't know what it is about fall, but pretty much the best books of the entire year are released in this season in like a tidal wave of books. I mean, in the winter you get a good release now and then. And in the spring I think there's like a fair amount of books coming at you. And in the summer you get some really good summery reads released. But when it comes to fall, to autumn, it's like, I can't hear you over the sound of all of these amazing books being released. They probably get released in fall because fall is the best season ever. At least for book reading. I mean, come on, look at these guys. So yes, with that said, today I'm going to be sharing with you my most anticipated books that are being released this autumn. And when I mean autumn, I mean the whole month of September, the whole month of October, and the whole month of November. I know fall technically doesn't start till like September 22nd, but I am from Iowa, so the first week or two in September, it is cold. You can kiss your summer goodbye. But in order to get into the fall spirit, I'm going to need something. Sweater. I also have tea in this fallish cup. The first book being released this fall is a book I am most excited for. I've been waiting all year for this to come out, and that is Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. This item is going to be released on September 1st, the very first day of September, the first day of fall. Guys, I am dying for this book. I don't think you understand. If you don't know, Queen of Shadows is the sequel to the Throne of Glass series. I have been waiting so long for a really good fantasy YA series, and this is the top notch, I'm telling you right now. And it's not, I'm so glad YAs are stuck into this trilogy, like black hole, and there's actually like 6 books in this series. Like, that's how you do a fantasy. You can't do this 3-book nonsense every single time. So yes, Queen of Shadows, kicking off the fallness with epicness. The next book I want to talk about is Marvels, and this is by Brian Selznick. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. This book is being released September 15th. If you don't know, Brian Selznick wrote the book The Invention of Hugo Cabret and Wonderstruck. These are technically middle grade books, but it's half word and half pictures. Some of the story is told in a literature medium, and others are told through drawings, through art. They're very beautiful, artistic, and even though they're middle grade, the stories are really gripping, and I like that I can discuss this with someone my age, and I've discussed one of the books with the kid that I was watching. It's a very different type of style and a very interesting read. I highly recommend all of these books. Also being released on September 15th is The Hollow Boy by Jonathan Stroud. This is the 3rd book in the Lockwood Chronicles, which is a series not a lot of people know about. I'm pretty sure it's middle grade. I don't know why I really like this series. Because, it is middle grade, but I'm not dissing middle grade. It's just there's a lot of other things out there. The Lockwood Chronicles is about these 3 kids living in this house in London, and they run their own business where they go out and they capture ghosts, because ghosts are pretty much running about. And I don't know what it is about this series, but ever since the first book, I've just been caught in the atmosphere of living with these kids who are by themselves, no parents, and they just, how they do their job and catch these ghosts and make relationships, and it's really fun. I would suggest, if you're looking for something different, something fun, Lockwood and Company. It's funny too, it's a really funny series. Next on my releases list is the one and the only Library of Souls by Ransom Riggs. This book is being released September 22nd. This is the 3rd and I think final book in the Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children series. That is a mouthful. So yes, guys, these are so beautiful and interesting and wonderful, and the characters, I could go on and on, although I'm pretty sure you've heard every YouTuber talk about this. But as you know, these are told in a picture and word medium. Once again, very artistic. I think these take 2 years to make. A lot of the times when they have pictures or drawings, they take a little longer to be released. So that way when they are released, it's like loveliness. The last book being released in September is The Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. Yes, this is being released on September 29th. Leigh Bardugo wrote the Grisha trilogy, and for some reason I thought this was a sequel to the Grisha trilogy, but it's actually not. It's another series. So yes, I have no idea what this is about, so I'm going to pick it up and go into it knowing nothing. Sometimes it's fun to do that. On to October, the month of my birthday, and one of the books I'm most excited to read is coming out this month. So there are 4 releases in October, and 3 of these books are being released on the same day, and that day is October 6th. So October 6th, I am going to be running to the store and grabbing all 3 of these books and running away like a maniac, foaming from the mouth. The first one is the book I am most excited for coming out this fall, and that is Shadows of Self by Brandon Sanderson. As you know, Brandon Sanderson is my favorite author. I have read The Alloy of Law. I read it for the booktubeathon, and I absolutely loved it. I didn't love it as much as The Mistborn, but I loved it separately from The Mistborn because it was more of a steampunk theme. Also being released on this day is Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard. This is by the one and only Rick Riordan, if you don't know who he is. He wrote the Percy Jackson series and the Kane Chronicles, and now he's coming out with a Norse mythology series, which is interesting and exciting. I'm curious to see what his take will be on this. I love the Kane Chronicles. Some people didn't like them because they weren't Percy Jackson, but I liked them separately for what they were, and I'm hoping I will like this too for what it is. Also on this day is a book I don't know that much about, but a lot of people got this book as an ARC at BEA, I think it was, and that is Illuminae, and I don't know who the author is. That's the author. This is a sci-fi-ish book, and the cover is absolutely gorgeous. Some people did some reviews, I think, on Goodreads, the ones who got the ARC, and I think all of them rated them like 4 and 5 stars, so wow. The last book being released in October is The Rose Society by Marie Lu. This is being released October 13th, and no, it's not on a Friday. This is the sequel to The Young Elites, and I have a confession to make. I forgot to bring this book with me to North Carolina. Yeah, I went through my shelves as I was looking through these releases, and I looked, and I'm like, I don't have this book. I left it in Iowa. Oh no. I thought I had every single book for the releases this fall, and I don't. So hopefully I can go to the library and read this. If not, I'll just pick it up and wait to read it until I get back home, if I ever get back home. I'm not dying to read this. I really want to read this. I'm hoping the second book will be the one that really grabs me. If you don't know, Marie Lu wrote the Legend trilogy, which I absolutely love. I've been needing to reread that. It's October 13th. That is all the releases in October, and now we move on to November. There are actually only 2 releases in November on the list, but I'm really excited for these, so let's get into them. The first is the one and the only Winter by Marissa Meyer. This is being released November 10th. I thought winter was going to be released like in the winter to tie into the theme. I mean, if you want to get technical, it snowed as early as November 10th in Iowa. It snowed as early as October 10th in Iowa, but it's also held off till December 10th. Let's not get into Midwest weather, actually. That's just a whole other story. Yes, guys, this, I love the Lunar Chronicles. This is the 4th and I think final book in the Lunar Chronicles. I love these books, guys. Also, the last release that I have on my list for fall is Warren the 13th by this author here. I have never read this author. I don't know what this book is about. All I know is that the guy who does the artwork for this book did the artwork for the cover of A Darker Shade of Magic, as you can tell by the way it looks. I don't know what it's about or who the author is, but the fact that it's the guy who did this, and it sold me. That's how good he is to me. So yes, those are all of my fall releases. Let me know if I missed any titles. Also, let me know if there's any new series starting in the fall. A lot of the times I just go with the sequels or authors I know, but I'm willing to branch out. So if there's any cool debuts or starting of new series by authors you love coming in fall, feel free to let me know in the comments because I am ready to read the books. I am ready for fall. So now that I've talked about my fall releases, is it fall yet? It's 90 degrees out and I'm wearing a sweater and drinking hot tea. So yes, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have an awesome day, night, evening, whatever time zone you are in, and I will see you later. Smile dip. I thought this stuff was banned in America. The future is in the past. Onward, Hiroshima! If you caught that reference, I love you. Guys, this stuff is awful for you. Don't eat Fun Dip. It is literally just, it's horrible for you.